Meghan Markle and Prince Harry gave us some of the worst moments of 2025. At number 44 on our countdown is when the fake Duchess's PR stunt, bizarre PR stunt, exposed the misery of Prince Harry as she staged a celebration of the World Series alongside her clearly unimpressed husband. Watch. I mean, Orla, that is what you call performative happiness, isn't it? And Harry can't even hide his misery about having to deal with that woman and her weird social media. And remember, this is a guy who says he's so traumatized to be photographed ever because of what happened to his mother all of those decades ago. Okay, fine, I understand that. But it's your wife who is actually now the biggest paparazzi. She's secretly filming you at home. She's secretly taking pictures of you wherever you are to post on social media. So spare me the lectures about the paps, Harry, because the pap is actually in your bed.
She is the biggest media whore, isn't she?
Yes.
She really is. And she is so disingenuous. And so that laugh, it literally pierces through my mind, pierces through my ears.
It wasn't
She's
authentic,
so
was it?
Oh, no. And and he looks like he's in a coma. And the thing is, ultimately, no matter what Harry, and I'm not a fan of either, and what he's done to his family, I think is atrocious, but you know, look at him and his upbringing. He has been brought up in a royal family, stiff upper lip, blah, blah. And he's got the most hysterical, disgraceful, you know, horrendously attention-seeking wife. It must be completely opposite to everything that he is.
It's a bipolar.
Do you know what I mean?
Him.
Yeah.
Complete bipolar.
Absolutely. It's bizarre.
She wants to be photographed. She wants to be videoed. She wants to be in the limelight.
She'd have OnlyFans. She'd have OnlyFans, wouldn't she?
She probably has.
She would.
Well,
seriously, Meghan's OnlyFans will be coming, right? Because, guys, they don't have money.
No.
I mean, how are they going to pay for this
Their titles
house?
stripped.
Yeah,
their
they really
titles
do.
need to be stripped.
Yeah.
That it's beyond a joke now.
I mean, Andrew's been shifted.
And they
needs
bring
as well,
the family into disrepute.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly in the royal family anymore. I believe once the Queen died, it was dead. It's gone. However,
really,
Meghan and Harry are awful.
You feel that Charles has waded too far into politics, his support of the World Economic Forum, that sort of thing.
He might as well be a Muslim now.
And his support of Islam.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a royalist. I love the royal family. I'm a royalist. I love William. I love Kate and their kids. I think the rest of them.
I don't love Charles.
No, I think Charles, to be honest, I think Charles has a responsibility to deal with what is happening in this country as the head of, as the monarch. And I think he's failing miserably. But I think, to be fair, do you know what he strikes me as somebody? He's an older man now. He strikes me as just being exhausted. He just wants to go around hugging trees.
He's involved in stuff that he shouldn't be involved in. He's like getting involved in net zero.
I don't think he's involved enough.
No, but I don't think he should be trying to push certain politics and
I agree
certain views because
he's
as
the
a
head
monarch,
of the Church of England. Yeah.
As a monarch, there is a role and there are certain things he shouldn't be involved in.
And as a queen, you know that yourself.
I do.
She's a queen who's involved in all sorts of politics. Look, at number 43, actually another Ms. Markle moment. This is when she appeared on a podcast with another, to use Orla's term, media whore. This woman is called Jamie Kern-Lima. I promise you, we never wanted to know about this woman. Unfortunately, she was introduced to us in 2025 because this was probably the most insufferable interview of the year, with certainly the most cringeworthy moment. Shall we try it, guys? Shall we try it? Come on. Okay.
Oh, come on, go. Sarah, I forgot to put my makeup on. Yet. I want to be natural. Yeah.
It's like an episode of Friends. It's so like, oh my God. No, what you're doing, Meghan, is you've been watching your nanny look after your kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's again, disingenuous.
Please do not tell me, oh my God, she hasn't raised her kids. She's not raising her kids. It's a nanny all the time.
100%. Yeah. And do you know what she was talking about in regards to that email was that rather than actually spend time with her children, she claims that at the end of every day, she writes them a note on her computer,
Be back later.
sends it to an email address for them to read when they're an adult, which seems like a ridiculous performative move, which is actually nothing about, as you say, Sarah, being a parent who's there for your children.
She's awful.
Yeah.
I'd like to get her and Gwyneth Paltrow and put them in a cupboard and lock the door and never see them again. They are the most... Look at this thing here. Oh, yeah. They are... I mean, who is this creature, this other one?
Oh, it's the only one that will give her any airtime, probably.
They are
Yet.
so...
Yet.
I know, they're just so... What's the word?
Megan,
I don't even know the
we're
word.
best friends.
Yes. Oh, it's vile. It's... Oh.
But the thing is, I think that interview was such an insight, right? Because if you surround yourself with people like that, no wonder you believe that you're something you're not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's
absolutely.
so unintelligent.
Yeah.
Do
And
you
a
know what?
sycophant,
So-
a
yeah,
total sycophant.
That's exactly the word. That's
She's
exactly
got like the. She's got that. She's.
Can
the
you
best.
imagine
I am.
how nauseating she must be to be married to?
I know.
I mean, and
Which
no-
is why you see that misery from
I mean,
Harry.
he just must think. And the thing is with Harry, he just cannot say this has not. I've made a mistake.
No.
He can't. He can't because it's just on every level, family, nation, everything that he has done and sacrificed. He cannot now turn his back.
She entrapped him, but you're so right. He put everything on the
Everything.
line. So his credibility is
It's
shot,
shot
if
anyway.
he
It's
admits
shot- yeah.
this was a mistake.
I know.
And of course he wants to. I mean, this is a very dysfunctional marriage. He's a very unhappy
He is.
man now.
He is.
I've been
Yeah.
reporting for well over a year that they are effectively living separate lives.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can come back because I don't think we want him back. I mean, do you think the British people would forgive him now if he were to hold his hands up and say, look, this was just a terrible mistake?
If he came on and said, and he did like a tell-all and said, I made a terrible mistake, I thought she was genuine. I think he was a very bad judge of character, but I think he's a bit thick.
She tricked him.
And she did.
Oh,
She's
of course,
awful.
massively.
She
She's
didn't
an
know who she
actress.
was. She didn't know who he was.
Oh, no, of course not. She didn't know who Andrew was.
Amazing.
And I mean, some of it, Sarah, was actually so twisted, like wearing Princess Diana's perfume. Like that's playing into his deep, his deep psychological issues.
She's just a full-on actress, and she's living in her own world.
Yeah.
It's the Meghan Markle world. I haven't quite made it. I haven't made it to Queen. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
yeah. And that's the other
awful.
terrifying
Yeah.
thing, though, isn't it? That
Yeah.
she genuinely still believes that there is a chance she will be Queen of England.
And do you know what the thing is that really, any time you say, and back to the whole left narrative, any time you say you don't like her, people go, because you're racist. It doesn't. I don't care. I mean, she looks whiter than me. In fairness.
tried to
like-
make herself
She has.
look
But the
non-black.
thing is, it's nothing to do with that. When she came onto the scene, everybody was like, you know what? That's brilliant. We're
great.
really happy for him. Da, 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 da. And then when you started digging deeper and she revealed herself and her nastiness, people started turning on her. And then when he then jumped or sort of went along with her and the whole thing went horribly pear-shaped, everybody saw through her. And that's when people turned. It's nothing to do with where she's from.
completely right.
And it's awful
And
that people
she is.
say that.
I've known people that have got close relations to the royal family, and they were speaking to members of staff, and they said that Kate is always very respectful.
Yes.
The Queen was always very respectful to staff members, and Meghan treated staff
She's a
members
prima donna.
like shit.
Yeah,
She
she's
did.
a prima donna.
She absolutely did. And I think it's really important actually to raise both of those points. Firstly, that her behaviour,
Yeah.
it was appalling. But Orla, also that the British public have been completely misrepresented by this couple
Yes.
for over 5 years now. I mean, I remember covering that wedding, and I was there with Megyn Kelly. Actually, she was at NBC at the time. And honestly, it was one
Joyous.
of the,
Yes.
one of the
Yes.
best moments outside of the London 2012 Olympics. Like when I look back at the last 20 years, I'm like, you've got William and Catherine's
Yep.
wedding, you've got the Olympics, and you've got Harry and Meghan's wedding. We were completely united. Okay, if we were such a racist country, Orla, do you think we would have been celebrating that
You're
wedding in that
absolutely
way?
right. Do you know what? The British people love Diana, right? Now, for all her mistakes and all her, issues that
Ongoings.
she had and whatever is irrelevant. Everybody loved Diana. And when she died and those boys were left without a mum and they were little kids, the British people took them under their wing and adored them. There was nothing that they could do as wrong. So when Harry met her, and I had a party at my house, and we all wore
Me too.
Union Jacks,
Me
and
too.
we were like, "This is fabulous," and we were like, "Her dress is amazing," and blah blah. And everyone was so. There is nothing. It's nothing more frustrating than once again the British public are labelled, and by her when she went on Oprah.
Yes.
When she went on there and she said they're racist. How dare you?
Totally.
How dare you? You were a nobody.
When you was welcomed in to
were
this
a
country.
nobody.
And in the Netflix show, remember,
yeah.
we were presented as being backward racist because of Brexit.
Yeah. She has used the British people to make her famous.
She's used the
and
royal
then she's
family.
and now she's dropped them to keep her relevant. And no wonder she's so hated. And do you know what? It is not going to end well for her. It is not going to end well. And and do you know what? I actually get so angry when I think about her and the way she treated Kate as well. I love Kate. I feel like I know Kate. I love her.
Yeah.
I
You feel like
Kate.
you know everyone. But you don't know her yet.
But it was revolting. And I think, Sarah, I'm so glad that you have made the point about the way that Catherine can treat stuff and the way that the late Queen Elizabeth II treated stuff as
They had
well.
class. They've got
100%.
class.
And also, there was an understanding when you were part of the Royal Institution. Actually, courtiers and staff members of the Royal Institution, they get a lot of perks, but they do not get paid a lot of money, right? But they are part of something special. This is not like turning up for a normal job, right? They work 24/7. But Meghan was treating them like scum.
Yeah.
She was treating them like the dirt on the sole of her shoes because that is a Hollywood way of doing things, right?
And also, with all due respect, they come from the Queen has been brought up as a queen.
Yes.
She's been brought up in that environment. So has
course.
Kate. Meghan came from nothing, and rather than saying, I am blessed and privileged, I'm going to treat people as I would want to be treated, she then turns the other way, which just shows a lack of class.
She didn't
and
like it.
You can take the girl out of the gutter, right?
But remember, she was treating people like this before she was in the royal family. That's the thing.
true.
This is
that
part of her
Hollywood
personality. Absolutely, because
personality.
I remember speaking to a director of one of Meghan's films, which she used to shoot between series of Suits, right? And I mean, it's so funny when you think back. Like, these were like straight to DVD type releases, not big movies. But her demands, this director said, were worse than any other actor he had worked with. And he had worked with true A-listers. She would demand private jets if there was not a first-class flight available. Because, between
She's
European
entitled.
countries, because they were filming in Eastern Europe. And, from London to Europe, there's no such thing as first class. Most flights don't even have a business class option. And he was like, are you kidding? Like,
who
you
are
think
you?
our small production has the ability to fly you on a private jet? Like, you're nuts.
But
that's
she
how she
thinks
thinks.
she's Beyonce.
Yeah,
she
does.
thought she was Beyonce then. And then she is a social climber, and she wanted to marry. She was after, who was the footballer she was after first?
Ashley Cole.
Well, so
Ashley Cole.
So she comes to the
Cheryl
UK.
Seconds.
She said to her friends, "This is what happened in the beginning," and I've got this from a very reliable source. She said to her friend, "I want to come to the UK because I want to meet an Arab prince." Right?
And said she got a ginger one.
She got a ginger one. That's what she was lining herself up to have.
Because she wanted the money.
She wanted the money.
She's a media whore.
Yeah,
That's
it.
She's
That's
a money
all
whore.
she
She
wants.
is. Yeah.
And even now, she doesn't have the money that she wants.
No.
It was never enough.
And you know
wait
what?
until she will drop Harry, and she will move on, and she will find herself somebody else. It will be some kind of older, really rich man.
Tycoon.
Well, an
and then
Arab
she'll say,
prince.
You watch.
Oh, they
this
won't want her
unfold.
now because she's got kids.
She's damaged
She's
now.
tainted.
She's damaged now.
She's soiled
damaged goods.
And let's face it, the Americans don't really like her because the Americans love the British.
Yes. Well,
So
what we
she's-
have seen this year is a lot of real celebrities absolutely say, no, the people that we want to have a connection with are the British royal family. And I'm talking major celebrities, Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, who have aligned themselves with William and Catherine rather than Meghan and Harry, because at the end of the day, like, if you compare Harry and Meghan's fame in America to Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga,
Nothing.
they're not even close.
No.
Whereas William and Catherine have something which is untouchable. And the thing is, Harry and Meghan had the opportunity to have
They
that.
did.
They could have been
but
a
it
perfect
would
example.
have meant not being about making money and actually caring
She
about
was
your
never
cause.
going to come
didn't wanna
second
work.
fiddle to Kate. She was never going to
she
come
couldn't
second.
cope with it.
Yeah, she couldn't.
Yeah.
And the jealousy, you can see the jealousy. And Kate has
Grace.
She's just fabulous.
So
Well, she
she's
hated her
stunning.
cottage, didn't she, inside the grounds of Kensington
Yes.
Palace? But again, when we say a cottage, it's the type of house that you or me would die to even spend a night in, right? You're on Kensington High Street. But because William and Catherine had a bigger apartment within Kensington Palace, because of course he's the heir to the throne, they weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
So it's mad. Anyway,
we digress. We love a
But
roll.
another despicable Meghan Markle moment actually lands at number 42. Once it was revealed that she ripped off her podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, from a young woman called Katie Mite, who you'd think was exactly the type of person Meghan would want to back. Watch.
The segment opens with an explosive claim. Meghan allegedly moved to the UK with the explicit goal of securing a wealthy or titled partner. This sets the tone immediately: not romance, not destiny, but calculated ambition. The framing paints Meghan as a social climber, not a love story heroine. By reducing Harry to the ginger one, the panel strips the fairy tale away and reframes the marriage as transactional, not emotional. This is designed to shock and to reignite long-standing accusations of motive and manipulation. Footage of Meghan celebrating while Harry looks visibly disengaged. This moment is framed as a visual metaphor for the entire marriage, one partner craving attention, the other visibly uncomfortable. The biggest hypocrisy highlighted here is Harry's constant lecturing about paparazzi trauma while allegedly being filmed and photographed by his own wife for social media content. The narrative flips Harry from victim to trapped participant, and Meghan from target of media to director of the spectacle. Harry's royal, restrained upbringing is contrasted with Meghan's expressive, fame-driven persona. This segment argues the marriage was fundamentally incompatible from day one. Harry is portrayed as emotionally repressed and tradition-bound, Meghan as hyper-performative and validation-driven. The panel pushes the idea that Harry didn't just marry the wrong person, he married the opposite of everything he was conditioned to survive in. Calls to strip titles, criticism of King Charles, frustration with modern monarchy. Here the conversation widens. Meghan and Harry are no longer just a personal scandal, they're portrayed as a symbol of institutional failure. King Charles is depicted as tired, passive, and unwilling to confront chaos. This segment feeds into a broader populist frustration. If Andrew is sidelined, why are the Sussexes still protected? Meghan's podcast appearance is mocked as shallow, performative, and insincere. This is framed as peak celebrity nonsense, self-help language with no substance. The harshest accusation here isn't incompetence, but inauthentic motherhood, outsourcing childcare while performing parental wisdom for branding. The email to children anecdote is treated as branding theatre, not parenting. Discussion of whether Harry could ever return to Britain or public favour. This is the emotional core of the episode. Harry is described not as malicious, but trapped by pride. Admitting failure would mean admitting betrayal of family, country, and legacy. The conclusion is brutal. Even if he wanted redemption, the public no longer wants him back. Criticism of Meghan's use of race allegations and Diana symbolism. This segment argues the race narrative was a strategic shield, not a lived reality. The panel insists public opinion turned not because of identity, but because of behavior. By invoking Diana's perfume and imagery, Meghan is accused of psychologically manipulating Harry's trauma, one of the most disturbing allegations in the entire breakdown. Stories of staff mistreatment, Hollywood entitlement, and pre-royal behavior.
So this is actually nuts. That podcast was launched back in October of 2023, whereas Meghan's flop podcast was launched in April this year. So she literally stole it.
Who's advising her? Who is her advisor?
No, she doesn't take advice.
Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she
Because
doesn't.
she's got that aura about her. She believes that
And
she's the greatest.
Let's be clear. An entrepreneur is somebody that has created something from nothing with very little help normally. They've created an idea. They've worked their asses off. They've done this. What has Meghan ever done? How could she even put herself in the same remit? I'm an entrepreneur yet. What?
No,
what is
she's
she
not done
talking about?
anything.
Again, she is completely deluded. I actually don't think she's very. I think she's
syndrome?
mentally unwell.
Is
I
it
really
imposter
think she's mentally
syndrome?
A
unwell.
lot of people do think that
I think
now.
she is because she's just. Do you know what? She's got this.
Well, I think it's a combination of being a psychopath and a sociopath
Yeah,
at the
agreed.
same
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Because
And
otherwise,
there's two
why
together.
would you, number one, rip off a podcast from a woman like that?
She
Then,
probably doesn't even think.
no.
She
And
probably sees
then-
it and goes, I want,
and she
want,
just
I
takes.
want.
Yes.
But then, as you say, launch a podcast about being a great businesswoman when you are literally the biggest flop of a businesswoman in the world. And then the podcast was such a disaster, she had to cancel it after one
She couldn't
series.
even take direction from the royal family on how to act like a lady and just turn up to events.
Yes.
That would have been quite simple.
Exactly.
And-
People would have paid her to wear their clothes. People would
Yes.
have paid her to do all these things and be an ambassador. Instead, people want to distance themselves.
That
because
shows she's
such a-
not an entrepreneur.
know.
And she moaned this year about the fact that the royal family had suggested that she wore pantyhose, right, to royal functions. Now, that was something that the late Queen believed in.
Agreed.
Of course, it
Yes.
was her personal choice, but it's like, what's wrong with that? What you were controlled because the late Queen suggested you wore pantyhose?
Because she was an old-fashioned lady, and wearing, not having bare legs. Bare legs used to be considered to be a bit slutty.
Yes.
And I remember when I started working in the city a long time ago, we were not allowed to have nail varnish or bare legs. You had to wear tights or stockings, and you had to have clear nails. And that was it. And that's you either conformed or you didn't work. That was how it was. So her saying, no, I want to, why can't she just do what she's told or do what she's asked now and again?
There's like you have to uphold certain
Certain
standards.
standards.
And as the royal family, anyone as a member of the royal family has a duty to uphold them standards
Yeah.
because you are representing the
that's
whole
thing.
of Great
she
Britain.
does everything she can to be destructive. That's the point.
Because it's the Meghan show.
Yeah, it is the Meghan show. It's the Meghan show. And do you know what? Actually, being the last year, being not involved in politics, but having liaised with people in politics, the mindset that I found of some people who I actually think are a little bit suspect, like you say, sociopath, they don't seem to think that there's anything wrong with what they do. They hurt people, they disrespect people.
no
They do what they want,
accountability.
and it rolls off like a duck. If I thought that I'd upset somebody or I'd humiliated myself, which happens quite often, but anyway, but if I thought that I'd done something that was considered to be immoral or nasty, or I would be so apologetic and I'd say I'm so sorry and humble.
Yet.
They haven't got the ability to do it yet. But they haven't
Yet.
got the ability to do it. It's a bad trait in people. It really
they're
is.
they're so up themselves.
Yeah,
though. This
that
is
they
the
can
problem.
do
We've
no
met
wrong.
these
Yeah, we've
time
met
and
loads of
time
them.
again
We met
throughout
them
this
literally
year.
every day.
And I think we've had it with those people,
Yeah.
actually. We've had it. And look, actually, on that point, at number 41 on our list of the worst moments of 2025 is the sickening plot from the MSM to destroy the patriot Thomas Skinner after he signed for the BBC's Strictly Come Dancing because he happens to be right-wing. That is why they destroyed him. So the MSM became desperate to reveal a personal story they hoped would bring down the former Apprentice star after he was invited to a barbecue held by Vice President J.D. Vance. The Sun led an investigation into a previous affair and prepared to publish the story, which led the businessman to feel as though he had been forced into a corner and partake in the following interview, which I think was just evil on the part of the Sun. Watch.
3.5 years ago, a long time ago now, but made the biggest mistake of my life. I got asked to do like a free bit of treatment of attractive women, I suppose. Seemed a nice person. There was a single mum. I just trying to help promote their business. Made the biggest mistake of my life, and I had a fling, I suppose. Like, it was nothing more than that. It was the one time. It was a mistake. I woke up feeling absolutely terrible about it. My wife, since I met her, I changed my life around, and I let her down in that brief moment of madness where I weren't thinking, where I didn't appreciate what I had. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Now, look, of course, all of us here will feel desperately sorry for Thomas Skinner's wife, right? And it goes without saying that none of us think that adultery or cheating on your loyal wife is a good thing. So let's park that there for one moment, though, because I think what happened to Thomas Skinner was chilling, because it was nothing to do with this affair, which had happened years and years earlier, and he was completely distraught. What happened is the mainstream media and the political class decided we've got to destroy this guy because he'd had that meeting with JD Vance. His posts on X were like exploding, and he was a serious threat. For a while, it was like, God, this guy could actually run against Sadiq Khan. He could beat Sadiq Khan. And so they destroyed him.
Do you know what?
And it sort of worked.
It did. I was saying to Sarah on the way, I met him and his wife and the kids on holiday this summer. The nicest man you could ever meet. Genuine, generous. People flock to him because he is just so transparent and to destroy. And it's always those people they destroy because they are scared. They're terrified that Joe Blogg's public like them. If you are liked and you are seen as one of the people, they will bring you down as quickly. And do you know what? He adores his wife. I said this to you tonight, his little kids. We all make mistakes. And I mean, if we could, and do you know what? He's honest and he's saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We're human beings. He could have lied and denied it and made up every excuse under the sun, like the majority of people do when they mess up. But his genuine, remorse for what he's done is so obvious. What is going to happen is people like him and people of his ilk that the public like, the more and more they are attacked and the more and more they are pulled down, the more publicity they're going to get and the more popular they will become, because people are fed up with the destroying of decent human beings. When you get people like Meghan, back to her, put on a pedestal, when people can see through she's disingenuous, dishonest and not liked, but they're the ones that are made the heroes. And you know what? I love, honestly, the nicest man you can meet. Yeah. And he bought me loads of drinks, which in my book, makes
that was it. Doesn't matter what he done, you can buy me as many drinks you want. I will love you.
People flocked to him.
Do you know Tom?
No, I've never met him.
Because you're both Essex.
Yeah, no, I've never met him. I've heard always good things about him. And at the end of the day, when did it become anyone's business?
Exactly.
What has gone on in his relationship? That's for him and his wife to deal with. And if she's still with him and supportive of him, it's none of our business.
No.
I don't
3.5 years ago.
And also, who decides who's far right? This is what I don't get, because
what is
of his
far
post,
right?
who decides who's far right?
What's he done that's far right? What's he walked around with a swastika?
I guarantee you, the far right, who is actually the far right, wouldn't like him.
He would be too bosh. He'd be too liberal, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what? He's a white East End man who lives in Essex. He's a bit of a geezer. He talks like that. He loves everyone. Bosh, bosh,
He's down
bosh.
to earth.
Oh, you're a gammon, right wing.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And actually, he's the type of person that our elite class should be embracing. I mean, he's everything we want our people to be, right? He gets up first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Every day he's on that damn market stall because he's going to provide a life for his family come hell or high water.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think it was the JD Vance moment, though, actually more than strictly. Yeah, 100%.
Jealousy, that's
100%.
all it's about.
Because it's like, they think someone like Tom Skinner doesn't have a right to even be in the same room as JD Vance, let alone at a barbecue.
Yeah, so like Benjamin Button, for instance, he would look at Tom and he would be disgusted by him.
Yes.
He's uneducated, he's common, he's everything I'm not, blah, blah, blah. The arrogance of those lefties and the liberals, they think that they literally think that they are above the law. And actually, I guarantee you that Tom Skinner would buy and sell them.
100%.
All day long.
Because he's got common sense.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. The people that are in the elite who believe that none of us should have... People got the ump with me going to Poland. Oh, because you shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been with Dominik Trzynski. Why is she there? She's just a commoner from the East End.
And you were there with Tommy Robinson and Middleton,
So
Liam Tufts.
But then what happens, you don't just get it from the left, you get it from people on the right who are like, well, why is she there and I'm not?
Yeah.
So there's a real problem.
Yes.
There's a real problem.
And it's like, go and make it happen for yourself.
100%.
That is the point. Anyone can make this happen for yourself. I mean, I'm reading JD Vance's book at the moment. I previously watched the movie, but, the really inspiring thing about JD Vance is he came from one of the most underprivileged parts of the United States of America. He is now vice president. He broke the cycle. His mother was this drug addict who's
Yeah.
also broken the cycle now. And it's like, let's embrace
Correct.
that.
His story is incredible.
Yeah, it
They,
is.
And
they're,
it should-
they're jealous. These
They are
people, they
jealous.
sit on their keyboards, slagging people off. Me.
They've got 100
at
accounts.
home, at home in their pants.
I can't even run
drinking
one.
Fanta, and
Yeah.
they're just like,
Yeah,
do you know,
and
it's
a lot of
jealous-
them on
jealousy.
benefits, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
guess who's not on benefits? Tom Skinner.
Correct.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're looking down on him. How dare you?
How dare you?
Now look,
Bosh.
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 Here the mask fully comes off. Meghan is portrayed as consistently difficult, long before royal life. The key contrast is class, not wealth, but conduct. While Queen Elizabeth and Catherine are framed as respectful leaders, Meghan is described as demanding status without earning respect. Claims Meghan targeted wealthy men and will eventually leave Harry. This segment paints Meghan as perpetually dissatisfied, chasing status, then power, then relevance. The idea pushed is stark: Harry was a stepping stone, not the destination. Whether true or not, it's designed to provoke maximum reaction. Accusation that Meghan copied a younger entrepreneur's podcast. This is framed as the ultimate irony, preaching female empowerment while allegedly lifting ideas from a smaller creator. The collapse of the podcast after one season reinforces the narrative of failure, not sabotage, not racism, but lack of originality and credibility. Contrast between how Meghan is protected and how others are destroyed. This is where the episode shifts from celebrity gossip to culture war. The argument: the media punishes authenticity and rewards victimhood narratives. Meghan is portrayed as insulated from scrutiny, while figures like Thomas Skinner are publicly dismantled for political inconvenience. Closing arguments on power, class, media bias, and public anger. The conclusion is ruthless. Meghan and Harry are not victims of the system, they are products of it, and now it's turning on them. The public, the media, and even celebrities have moved on. What remains is resentment, exhaustion, and a cautionary tale. Now I want to hear from you. Was Meghan Markle a calculated social climber from the start, or is this all an unfair character assassination? Has Prince Harry destroyed his own legacy beyond repair? Should the titles finally be stripped, yes or no? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you're done with media hypocrisy. Subscribe for uncensored royal commentary, because the truth doesn't live in palace press releases.